Hello everyone and welcome to live coverage of round 8 of the 2015 CRC World Championship, coming to you live from the Valencia Street Circuit in Spain. And I do have a co-presenter with me today. I was hoping he'd be able to be a co-commentator, but unfortunately TeamSpeak actually causes lag in the server. But he's with me in the build-up. So hello.
Hello and welcome to what promises to be an exciting race today, with championship leader down in 20th position
On the grid. And we also saw absolutely thrilling racing in the CGP2 in particular, didn't we?
Yeah, there's some, especially the last few laps after the safety car in race 2 was absolutely fantastic. Plenty of overtaking, and we hope to see lots of that in this race today.
Yep, anyway, the pit lane opens in around 8 minutes time, where obviously everybody's hoping that all the cars, the weather this weekend is absolutely fantastic. There was a small threat of rain at the start of yesterday, but today it's looking really good for for the race to be extremely hot today, isn't it?
Yeah, and at points in practice we had the temperatures were even higher than they were in Bahrain, so it's really going to be tough on the tyres and on the engines. Reliability will probably be a big part of the event today.
Yeah, we don't have a qualifying report for you today, but talk us through what happened in qualifying.
Well, basically, most of the usual suspects went out in qualifying one. The two speed techs, the two HWRs. Zach Sadiq had suspension failure in the Shantana, so he will line up last. The two Mossets went out. Kerry-Ann Peace went out. And you would have thought that the wheel-spin Lockie of Tom Farrar-Smith would go out, but Oscar Minto got held up in traffic and he will start 21st position. In qualifying 2, Will Esley had a mouse malfunction, which meant he couldn't get out. He went out of track right at the end of the session, but there wasn't enough time. And Ben Blakemore almost got into Q3 on his return to D-Tech, and Max van der Gala in his first race for CGP Racing is 15th. Buchan will be disappointed with 14th, and Lucy Woodward was the last person to miss out she'll start 10th but qualified 11th. As Matt Coombs got into Q3 but has a 10-place grid penalty and will start 19th. In Q3, Alex Moores managed to get pole by 0.004 of a second off Dan Milner. Milner, who got pole in Monaco, almost made it 2 street circuits with 2 pole positions. But he'll line up second, Chantel Hawke third, Toby Jones fourth for Masterforce. Masterforce didn't look too good in qualifying, but they had a strong quali indeed. Kieran Hardy will be happy with his 5th position. His teammate, I forgot to mention, is quite a long way down. He is
7th.
Which I suppose isn't too bad, but after his podium he won't be up with that. And Duran is 6th, Tusson 8th, and Humphreys qualified 10th but moved up to 9th.
Yeah, it was a very interesting qualifying session, but how quickly do you expect Essie to progress?
I think he'll progress quickly, but it's all about whether he'll crash or not. We've seen in Turkey he started from the back, Monaco he started from the back, and in both races he ended up crashing.
Well, Monaco was kind of irrelevant, wasn't it? Considering
he didn't actually crash because he wasn't overtaking people, but and obviously it's a completely different track. But Turkey, yeah, he was making the moves very quickly, but then had all kinds of problems with.
Yeah, he hit the back of Kerry-Ann Peace in Turkey, didn't he?
Span later as well. But yeah, I think he'll be able to move through the field. Obviously, he's got 10 less places to make up today.
Yeah.
And he hasn't got to go behind the really slow cars. But yeah, he's got to be aware that he can't afford to throw away any more points, especially with Moores on pole today.
Yeah, do you think this race is just going to be a walk in the park for Alex Moores?
No, definitely not, because they've been very close to the opposition. We thought Dork were going to be their main rivals, but Masterforce have turned up and they've had a go at them now as well. So yeah, Moores has got trouble from behind, and even if he does pull away, he's got to be wary that back markers always play a big part in these races in slowing people up. So he's got to make sure that he gets through that cleanly. In Turkey, he led easily. He crashed with the back marker, and he's got a real habit with crashing with back markers. So
Yeah, back markers have caused problems, haven't they? Do you think they're going to cause any problems today?
Yeah, probably the nature of the track will mean that they will. Some tight sections, but he's got the straights, which will be a very big thing for him, which will help him today. Is that he's got two very long straights to make those passes on, so it won't be as big as tracks like Monaco, obviously, and probably not as big as Canada either, but it'll still be quite a large part.
Yeah. But we have the pit lane opening in 3 minutes, which is, and now I think the main focus for everyone is that they all get to the grid without any problems, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously you don't want to be ruining your weekend just because you're getting out of the pit lane onto the grid. So yeah, just got to be careful. Go through their routine of practicing the starts, doing the burnouts and everything. Just getting ready for the weekend for the race.
Yep. Also, do you think we're going to see the safety car at some point in today's race?
Yeah, I think we probably will. I don't think it'll be a major part of the race, but we've seen in all of the support races, apart from the Classic series, we've seen the safety car out, and we saw a huge crash in CGP3 earlier. Which,
yeah, that was a pilot, wasn't it?
Mental, yeah.
And also, speaking of CGP3, with what happened with the safety car when it caused a couple of cars to slow down with a glitch, do you think the KSR are going to be quite concerned by what happened in the CGP3, seeing as the same could easily happen in the CRC?
Yeah, I think the KSR, especially, remember, Monaco is still only 2 races away, so although we had a nice clean Canada, there is still concerns from the KSR that they don't want any more glitches like they had in Monaco. So yeah, they're going to be hoping that if the safety car does come out, it just comes out, does its job, goes back in, and we get racing again. We don't want it to impact.
But if anything, you can say that Monaco's has had a positive impact on like the future races, because apparently this track, the walls on this track before, were just as glitchy, were more glitchy than Monaco's walls, but they've sorted them out.
Yeah, it's raised their awareness, hasn't it? So yeah, it has as a positive effect, and also the way that they format these systems of going through a red flag procedure. CGP3 was done really well this morning. They did end up going slightly over the time limit, but they kept on trucking at it, and made sure that we had a good race right until the end. So
yeah, because you have to say the CGP3 was a bit dull up until the red flag, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was good to see at the restart that people were
probably anything was more exciting than the CRC Classics race earlier, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness me!
That was a bit of a procession, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I didn't see anyone even try and overtake.
Yeah, because they're so difficult cars to drive.
Yeah, I can understand why it's just a bit of a shame that they don't perhaps have the amount of guts as the old drivers did back in the days where those cars were being used.
But anyway, the pit lane is just about to open here at Valencia. The cars are about to make their way to the grid for the 8th round, and I think the pit lane is going to open any moment now. I think it's open now, and yep, it is, definitely, because we now have the Wheelspin Lockie of Kerry-Ann Peace exiting the pits.
They'll be very happy that they've got this far this weekend, actually.
Yeah, you have to say, because now let's talk, there is Wessie, he's got quite a mountain of a task, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You have to say, because Wheelspin Lockie have had such a difficult week, haven't they? Take us through their issues, what they had.
Yeah. It started off quite minor, really, that they were just saying that they were struggling financially and that they were going to have to try and get more money to go ahead for the 2016 season. And then Lockie ended up running the team by themselves because Wheelspin pulled out, and they were going to be sued by Wheelspin for using the name, but thankfully the KSR came in and said that they couldn't sue them because the regulations say you can't change the name, so it would be wrong to sue them. So thankfully Lockie are here running the Wheelspin Lockie, and they've taken off all the things off the livery with Wheelspin, and they can just get on with it now, Lockie, and just run this team.
Yeah, I'm sure they are very relieved to be here this weekend in Valencia. Because, I mean, it would have been a shame if we didn't... Because losing a team would be quite bad, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be a shame because it's quite good having this massive 30-car grid is quite good, and it'd be nice if we could keep it up to a similar kind of size for the seasons to come. But obviously, it's not going to be helping if we've got teams pulling out due to small financial problems.
Yeah, but so far, judging by what we've seen, it seems that that no one's had any problems exiting the pits. As you can see, there's the Master Force. There's Woodessi coming round for another lap.
They're coming out at the same time.
But do you think we're going to see any incidents on pit exit?
Yeah, I think we will, because we've seen in practice and qualifying, we saw quite a few of them. There's two problems. There's the slight divot in the wall that people seem to be magnetised towards, and the actual pit exit feeds right into the line of the cars coming through after quite a long straight, actually. So, well, it's not straight, but it's high speed.
But another thing that has kept the drivers... But now let's go into our next feature. Another thing that has kept the drivers occupied for this weekend is the new F1 2015 game has come out. And here we have a review of the F1 2015 game. Well, hello everyone, it's Hamilton Fan 1705 here. And here I am with my first ever race on the F1 2015 game. Well, I'm not really sure I can call it my first race, because it did actually take quite a few attempts to record this. You may notice when it shows the start, it's going to have it's going to look a bit weird, but that's because I did take quite a few attempts to record this. But this is with the F1 2015 game on the Xbox One, recording with portage capture. So as you can see, I'm going to do it around Spa. And it's the thing around Spa. Here I was actually deciding what track to do. And I decided I was going to drive as Max Verstappen. And in my opinion, I think they have managed to get the drivers looking exactly as they should in the game. Could be a way to go, but for a first time, good. So, this was actually recorded on the evening of the first day. This commentary was anyway. But as you can see, I've got all assists off apart from dynamic racing line, which is on corners only. But before the race gets underway, I'm just going to say, in my opinion, first impressions of this game after like one day or half day of having it is, for a game that Codemasters has... For the first ever game Codemasters have ever released on next-gen consoles, very good. Yes, there are some glitches that need to be ironed out. For example, I think the online apparently is quite bad. I've not seen much of it, but there was actually a glitch which occurred just now, or about an hour ago when I was recording this, where basically... I think this might have been caused by lag, but basically I needed to pit, and I had to stop behind the pit box, or behind where the team were just preparing to pit, and basically I was stuck there. I didn't get any footage, but anyway, we have the lights in Spa. Lights out, and away we go. I didn't get the best launch, which is something which is quite hard to get right on this game. We head into the first corner on the outside of Jensen Button as we head towards turn 1. Now exiting the Azores hairpin, heading up towards the Eau Rouge corner. It's still easily flat on this game. Heading down the back straight now. You can see the car, Maldonado, I think that is, sparking away. We head into their comp. I was using a wheel, by the way, in this, which, and in my opinion, it's really not the same with a controller than with a wheel. As you can see, I get a better X off Malmedy, heading down towards Rivage, but there's a bit of contact with Ericsson, so I lock up, going into Rivage, now into the corner with no name, trying to catch up to my teammate, Carlos Sainz. Heading towards the middle of the lap so far. This was my first race, so the driving was not the best. I have actually improved now, but before my pace, when I was recording this, my pace was terrible. I think even the manual route was faster than me. By the time when I was using a proper setup around Melbourne, I was in a Force India later tonight. I was at the pace I really should be. I was up there with a Lotus, and my lap times were good as well. But there was another glitch that I came across, which I might actually upload. I'm not sure if this was a glitch or not, or if this was programmed, but basically I'd had no warning that I did track extend slightly at the Silverstone on an online race. I did track extend slightly on the exit final corner, and it disqualified me. I'm not sure if that was a glitch or not. I might actually upload that whole race that I'd done until then, so I was recording at the time. But I'm pretty sure the online will be better when it comes to leagues, so it'll actually not be on the public lobby. As you can see, Ericsson's on my outside as we head down towards Lecom, and I think I was a bit too tentative on the brakes going into Lecom, which was not what I needed to do. I think the main disappointing thing at this stage about the game is easily the fact there's no safety car. I mean, that's quite disappointing, especially if it comes to the league race, where I say if I lose my front wing, I think, well, there I was actually looking at my house, looking at my captain car, but the disappointing thing is, let's say if I lose my front wing in a league race, then all I need to do is give me a safety car, so I can easily blow that back, but I can't really think that on this game, or at least in this version of the game. I really do hope that Codemasters do implement the safety car later in the game, and include it in an update, because it's an important aspect. To be honest, I actually think they just forgot to put it in, so I really do not see any reason why they would remove the safety car, since it's such an important element for F1 these days. Anyway, I get oversteer off the bus stop chicane, and this allowed Pastor Maldonado to get down my inside into turn 1. There's a bit of contact there, which unsettled the car a little bit. Got Hulkenberg behind me here as we head down towards Eau Rouge corner. So, get a better exit than Maldonado heading onto the comm straight, but Hulkenberg's got a better exit. Oh no, there's contact! And now we've lost our front wing! That really was not what we need to do. After the race, I did look at the replay. I'm going to include this now. So now looking at the replay, I can see he's got a better exit off Eau Rouge. And then, I think he just misjudged the closing speed. But now we have no front wing, and that's going to totally ruin our race. And that's really unfortunate. Anyway, I actually did record some of this. So I recorded some of this on Friday night, and then some of this on Saturday night, which is what it is now. And now what? I'm not sure if I've already mentioned this in the video yet, but I was actually, people have been complaining that there have been so many glitches, but I was actually expecting there to be some glitches, quite a few glitches in F1 2015 at first, because it's Codemasters' first ever game on next gen consoles, so there'll be a lot that they need to sort out and everything. Hopefully they'll be patched up within a week or so, these online issues. And I've done a few online races that have just had absolutely no issues whatsoever. For example, one that may have already uploaded already when you watch this, about this online noob. But F1 2015, I think, has a lot of potential. Because first again on next gen, I think it could be as popular as F1 2010. I think all they need to do is to sort out the online glitches and hopefully add the safety car back in and add in features like that as downloadable content. Anyway, we're going to finish the race in P20 and obviously it's a disappointing race. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Obviously there's some nice animations here. By the way, the Justin Sampson episode from Hockenheim has been recorded, but I've not recorded the script, or not from Hockenheim, Hungaroring. But I've not actually recorded the script for it yet. But also another thing to mention, sign up for season 2 if you want to, I just want to say this right now, if you want to enter a character for Justin Sampson, you can play if you want, because I'd like to have a bit more banter in season 2, so there's more people involved playing their own character. Obviously my character is Justin Sampson and Mark Robinson. But if you want to enter a character into season 2 as one of the drivers, then just put a comment in this video or tweet me. So I'll be able to hopefully rename the drivers for the character. Well, that was certainly an interesting game, but unfortunately things are not good at CGP Racing at the moment. Just a few moments ago, this. Oscar Minto stopped his car on pit exit. They're not sure what the issue is, but things are quite frantic at CGP Racing at the moment, aren't they?
They definitely are. And yeah, it's really not a good thing for them because Minto, although he's down the order, an engine failure is really not good for their team because they're throwing.
If it is, we're not sure it is an engine failure yet.
Well, if it is, hopefully it's not for them. But it's still not good anyway.
But anyway, we are about to have the national anthem here at as the drivers are about to go to the front of the grid. Here we have the national anthem of Spain. As the drivers have gone to the front of the grid just to pay their respects to the country that's hosting this race. I wonder if we're just waiting to see if there is any more news on whether Oscar Minto is going to make the grid. Obviously, if he will start in his place if he can make the grid, because obviously you can't even start from the pit lane in this series. So, but let's just hope that whatever the problem is, CGP Racing can sort it out. What do you think of this?
Yeah, it's just a real hassle, especially even if they get it going, it still impacts on the race because you don't get the preparation that you want. As I said, practice starts, burnouts, everything. Getting the clutch settings right is a big thing, and just losing that and just time to just relax and get ready, get your frame of mind right. That's all just gone with this, but they're just going to be hoping that they can at least get him on the grid and just hopefully get him go in and keep him going for the whole race and see what they can pick up.
Yeah. But another staggering thing that we need to talk about is the temperatures. I mean, it's not actually going to be the hottest it's been all weekend. It's only going to be like 30 degrees at the start of the race. But the thing is, there's going to be 54% humidity. That is staggering, isn't it?
Yeah, yes. I didn't realise you could actually get that high humidity in Europe. So that's pretty crazy.
That's what it says. But it's going to be very interesting to see, because it's going to be a very physical race for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, and probably one that they wouldn't have actually prepared for that much. They would have known it would have been tough, but they wouldn't have been prepared for this.
Valencia usually is typically a hot place.
Yeah.
There's the
they wouldn't have put in the same amount of prep that they do for races such as Malaysia and Bahrain.
Yeah, Malaysia would have still been humid despite the weather.
Mm.
But we've got around 13 minutes to go till we have the lights. Till the lights will go out for the Spanish Grand Prix, where it's going to be very... Do you think we're going to see a lot of overtaking today?
I think there'll be a bit of overtaking. I don't think there'll be loads of overtaking, but I mean, there's definitely opportunities. But we saw in the CGP2 that good defensive driving can really block out the overtaking. Jade Oakes did a fantastic job to not lose any positions at the end of the race, even though he was attacked every single lap at the same corner. Oh, I thought you said he in the stream.
No, I didn't. Sometimes when there's lots of action, that's what I'm like. I accidentally do that. But
Jade was a... Anyway, yeah.
We've got 12 minutes to go. And apparently we do have good news from CGP Racing that they have managed to fix the problem on Oscar Minto's car. And he has made the grid for this race. But do you think they're going to be worried that the problems might persist during the race, whatever the issue was?
Yeah, they'll be worried, but I don't think they'll be too worried because they managed to fix that pretty quickly, actually. So I think they'll be okay with that, actually.
And also another thing. I mean, do you think Yanasa Roka will be getting quite nervous when they click the race button today, where the mouse is going to malfunction like it did yesterday? Yeah,
or they might not be able to call him in for a pit stop with a broken mouse or something. Could be all kinds of problems. Do you know who their mouse supplier is? 'Cause
we don't know.
There might be a few stern words to the mouse suppliers after this.
Yeah, probably Waitrose. Maybe. But who do you think? Also, do you think we need to watch Coombs because he is one place ahead of Estley as well?
Yeah, I think Coombs could be a real problem actually for Estley today because Estley might be making good progress past the slower cars, but Coombs will be someone that will be quite difficult to overtake. So if Coombs has got his overtaking shoes on, overtakes a few cars, then holds up Estley, then that's going to be a real shame for Estley. But we saw in Bahrain, Matt Coombs rolled it and then got his way all the way back up to third.
Because we do know that Coombs GP are very strong in race trim. It's just their qualifying pace that they do need to sort out, isn't it?
Yeah, every single race they seem to be 8th, 9th, 10th.
In qualifying, but they seem to be fighting for podiums in the race.
Yeah.
But it's good that CGP have managed to fix the problem on Oscar Minto's car. So he will start the race. But we've got 9 minutes to go. Do you think the tension's now starting to build for these drivers?
Yeah, they're going to be starting to just get in the mindset now. Just thinking about the start, thinking about how they're going to get through the race. And they're going to be really in the zone. But obviously it's going to be hard to keep in the zone when you've got a lot of things to be thinking about and worrying about. And yeah, and obviously part of this preparation is obviously talking to your engineers, thinking about your strategy, and today is probably going to be a two-stop. We saw the long runs on Friday, where they ran kind of comfortably for the whole 30 minutes. Obviously, this race is 1.5 hours, so we suspect them to do probably 2 longer stints than a shorter stint at the end. So those last few laps could be quite interesting, but you never know. Some people might pit a little bit earlier, try and split the race maybe into thirds on those tyres. So there could be variations in strategy that they'll be running through now as they get ready for this race.
Yes, we've got 8 minutes to go now, haven't we? Still.
Yep.
But who do you think's going to win today?
I'm going to go with Dan Milliner because he's had a poor season so far. He's had a few DNFs in the last few races, and I reckon he's going to be really wanting to bounce back after a disappointing season so far. And weren't Masterful supposed to announce their driver lineup this week? Actually,
Yeah, they said they would, but we don't seem to have had anything.
no. So he's still there fighting for his drive. So yeah, that's going to be even more food for winning, and he's going to be really hungry for that food.
Yep, interesting way of saying it.
I couldn't think of anything else.
We've got just 7 minutes to go. We're going to go to the race commentary mode in a couple of minutes' time. But what's your prediction for the podium?
I'm going to go with Milliner, Hawk, Moores. Moores is going to be third. He's going to have a disappointing race.
And where do you think Essie's going to finish?
P6. P6.
Do you think he's still going to lead the championship? Oh yeah, he definitely is still going to lead the championship after this race. It's mathematically impossible at the moment for.
Yeah, but I don't think. I reckon he'll get away with it because he got away with it in Turkey and Monaco, and I reckon he's going to get away with it again today. I don't know why, but I just have this thought that he's messed up qualifying. Well, he hasn't. The mouse has messed up qualifying on the right track for him because of the challenge that will be there for Moores.
Yeah, because Alex Moores will probably have his hands full defending from the cars behind, maybe like the likes of Milliner and Hawke and drivers like that. Anyway, it's now time to go into race mode. We'll speak to James again after the race, but it's now time for the 2015 Spanish Grand Prix. So, hello, welcome to Valencia, the street circuit that plays host to the 8th round of the 2015 CRC World Championship of a season full of new regulations. It's an exciting track. It's 5.419 kilometers in length, or 3.367 miles. It consists of 25 turns, and the lap record in F1 was a 1:38.683 set by Timo Glock in the Glock in the Toyota in 2009. It hasn't been used by F1 since 2012, but it has been used by CRC every year since 2008. And CRC really has made a home here, it has to be said. Because this year, or not this year, a lot of the time, Valencia often produces exciting racing in CRC. Because last year we saw a good race. It was Chantal Hawk who managed to defend from Matt Coombs to be able to take probably one of her best victories in CRC. And it was a great drive from her to be able to defend. I don't know how she managed to defend off the Coombs GP car that day. But it was quite an interesting race. The formation lap will be getting underway in around shortly. I think this could be an interesting one where we're going to have but it's going to be a real change to the championship fight. But we have 30. I think the first lap we could have. I think the chances of having a safety car intervention today, there is quite a chance of there being a safety car intervention, because in every single one of the support races, except the CRC Classics race, there has been a safety car at some point during the race. But we've got around a minute to go till the formation lap gets underway, because obviously we want to start at... Because obviously we do want to start on time. We want to start at 16:30, which is when it was scheduled to start. But we've got not long to go till we have the formation lap here in Valencia. And I believe we're moving forward to the race now. But you can see the tension is starting to build here in Valencia. We're just about to be underway for the formation lap here in Valencia. And whilst they do that, as always, we are going to give you a rundown of the grid, as they are about to set off on their formation lap. They have set off now. On pole position, it is Alex Moores with Dan Milner in second on the grid. In third on the grid, it is Chantal Hawk with Toby Jones in fourth on the grid. In fifth on the grid is Kieran Hardy with Hannah Duran in sixth, with Jack Bourne in seventh, Matthew Tewson in eighth on the grid for Coombs GP. In ninth on the grid, it is James Humphreys with Lucy Woodward in 10th. In 11th on the grid, it is Ben Blakemore in the DMAD Engineering ahead of David Bland in the Tove. In 13th on the grid, it is Lucas Quincy ahead of Will Bucket in 14th in the Brown Asso. In 15th on the grid, it is Max Contragala in his first race for CGP, with Tom Mungle in 16th. In 17th on the grid, it's Louise Morrow with Tom Farrow-Smith in 18th. On row 10, it's two big names. Matt Coombs in 19th. What can he do? And of course, championship leader Will Essie after his issues in qualifying. In 21st on the grid, it is Oscar Minto with Joshua Moores in 22nd. In 23rd on the grid, it is Kerry-Ann Peace with Hard Williams in 24th, with Chloe Carson in 25th, Harry Williams in 26th. In 27th grid, it is James Casey with George Chandler in 28th. And in 29th on the grid, it is Elliot Everson with Zach Steep at the back of the grid after an issue in qualifying. And that is your grid. Don't forget, if you're on the move, you can follow this race live on the CRC Twitter at twitter.com/CRC, where there'll be live pictures from the race tweeted. But we're almost ready. Here in Valencia, as they're going round the final corner. As they're all lining up on the grid, it is Alex Moores in the eBay liveried car on the right with Dan Milner on the left. They're all just, as it's going to be a wait now, just a waiting game now for Dan Milner. A couple of cars having a few issues behind. There's Wilesi getting into his place. But here we go. Everyone is in position. We have the lights in Valencia. And it's lights out. And away we go. And Alex Moores gets a good launch off the line as they head into the first corner. And Alex Moores goes to the inside to defend from Dan Milner as they head towards turn 2. Dan Milner switches to the inside for the first time. But I think Alex Moores has just managed to defend. I think Toby Jones has managed to pass Chantel Hawk for third place. But Chantel Hawk on the inside of Toby Jones. They head into the chicane for the first time. But it is Alex Moores that leads the way. Chantel Hawk has just managed to defend that place. It looks like they have all managed to make it through safely. Willesi's made up a place, and a couple of places in fact. But it's Alex Moores that leads the way as they head onto the bridge. This is where there was chaos in the CGP3 race. Earlier, but Kieran Hardy just trying to defend from his teammate. Are they all going to get through turn 10 without an issue? After all the issues that there has been there over the course of the weekends, are they all going to get through safely? Here comes Matt Coombs. Matt Coombs loose. There goes the front wing on Matt Coombs' Coombs GP. And he's lost it. And he's collected Oscar Minto. But I think that could be race over for Coombs. Are they both going to get going? Matt Coombs is out of the race. Matt Coombs has already retired. So we've lost Matt Coombs from this race. After an incident at turn 2. But it's Alex Moores that leads. But apart from that, a fairly clean first lap. As they're heading towards the end of it. But they're all now starting to get into a rhythm. Hannah Duran had an awful start. Willesi's up into 18th. I think he lost a position in that melee. But Alex Moore sets the fast lap. He's now behind Tom Farrow-Smith in the battle for P18. Everson's also retired as well. But they've all now managed to get in, just slowly get into their rhythm. It's Toby Jones who's behind not Hannah Duran, it's Chantel Hawk as they head towards the end of the second lap. But apart from that, a fairly clean start. We did, apart from that incident, but shame for Matt Coombs. His tough season continues that he's had. I think everyone's now biding their time before we get the DRS system. But I think the problem that Essie's going to have here is all these guys and girls ahead all will have DRS from each other. So he's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way as they head into turn 12. But you can see that Essie's got more pace than the Wheelspin Locky ahead. But I think what he's going to want to do is to make Farrow-Smith have to defend so he doesn't have DRS. But he looks pretty close getting down towards turn 17. Is he going to be able to let one fly going into 17? Not quite. Lock up behind. Got 28 cars still running. Alex Moores is starting to pull away up front at the moment. But he needs to kind of just turn the pace down a bit because he's now starting to use his tyres a little bit. Here is at Woodessley. Also, if there are any stream issues, I'd prefer it if you tweet to me because I'm probably not going to be looking at the stream. I'm not saying I've got any evidence that there are any stream issues, but I'm going to be using Twitter more rather than the stream chat. But Woodessley, who's now behind Tom Farrow-Smith, heading into turn 8 in the Wheelspin Locky. They're heading towards the end of the first lap. So will Tom Farrow-Smith have DRS? Yet he does, which is a problem that Essie's going to have because he won't get the advantage. But DRS has been enabled now. And this is going to help Hawk here because she is behind Dan Milner. Is this going to be enough? We saw how much DRS can gain you down the back straight in this straight in CGP2. But doesn't seem to be having the same effect as of yet. Is David Bland behind Ben Blakemore, who's in his 2-race appearance. Woodesy doesn't look like he was able to make the move on Tom Farrow-Smith yet. But if you're Woodesy, what do you do in terms of strategy? Because if you're stuck behind some cars, but I mean, he has made up a place as Will. Or Everson is still running. I just got mistaken. I think he must have just lost his front wing when I said he'd retire. So he only lost Coombs from this race. But everybody's slowly starting to settle into a rhythm at the moment. In terms of the racing. Oh, is that? I thought I saw Hawk having a look down the inside of Dan Milner, but she's going to have a second burst of DRS down the straight now. If she gets a good run, then she should be able to pass the Master Force car. Then you shouldn't expect that Hawk is going to be behind the Master Force for long. But she isn't quite able to make the move going down into turn 17. Everybody seems to be struggling to overtake at the moment, but look at the lead Alex Moores has got now at the moment. He is just dominated this race at the moment. But all this train of cars, they're all behind each other, so they're all getting DRS from each other, which is really hurting Essie at the moment. As here you're looking at Hawk behind Dan Milner. She's got DRS again, but she just can't seem to get close enough on the straights to be able to make the move. But it's going to be interesting when the pit stops come into play. But look at the exit that Hawk's got. This is definitely the closest she's been. And with DRS, this should be, I think this will be easy. She used a bit of the green tarmac as they head down towards, and this is an easy move. She just breezes past. So Chantal Hawk has taken second. In the Dork Racing car. Now, if she has the pace, will she be able to catch Alex Moores? In other news, Woodessy's still stuck behind Tom Farrow-Smith in the Wheelspin Locky. We've seen some people slingshot it into turn 2 with an overtake. The trouble Essie's having is Farrow-Smith is within DRS range of Tom Mungle ahead. But that was crucial that Hawk made that move there on Dan Milner. There's Matthew Tewson having a look down the inside of Jack Bullman going down into turn 10. Toby Jones, look at how much Hawk has pulled away from Milner already, having made that move. Here's Lucy Woodward now behind James Humphreys in the battle for P9. And she does have DRS, so she should be able to make the move if she can get the DRS boost. But James Humphreys goes to the inside to defend. Is Woodward going to be able to try it round the outside? Nope, not quite. So it's Humphries still maintains P9. Miller's actually caught back up to Hawk. Oh, Essie's past Farris Smith. Finally, so where did he do it? Both had DRS and he's finally done it, going down into turn 17. Oh, what's happened here? Essie's hit the back of... We've got yellow out there, something's happened. Minto's out, but Essie seems to have hit the back of Tom Mungle. It's happened again. Let's see what happened to Oscar Minto. Oh, he had a gearbox problem, I think. But it's happened again. Essie has smacked into the back of Tom Mungle. But let's see what actually happened. And now he's going to face a penalty as well. What is going on? What problem does Essie have when he's starting near the back? But Essie, once again, it's happened. And Mungle will probably have to retire, which he has had to retire from the race. But now this is a big opportunity. And Tewson's lost his front wing somewhere. What's happened with Tewson? Where did Tewson lose his front wing? Now that's his race destroyed as well. And he has hit Jack Baldwin out of the race. So he's probably going to face a penalty as well. So Essie into the pits. Baldwin's out. So you've lost 4 cars from this race already. Tewson's hit Baldwin out as well. But exactly like Turkey. Essie crashes into the back of another car. And he just loses his... It just seems that he loses his composure when he's fighting other cars. He's likely to drop a lap down. If there are safety cars, he could gain that lap back. But he is going to be kicking himself, Essley is. After that, the two Mossets in combat. Essie and Tewson are still in the pits, and now they have fallen a lap down. The fact that it's happened again for the second time when he's starting from the back. Everybody's now seems to be just... But Essie's just... He had so much pace at the start of the year. Now, that lead gap of 28 points, that looks like it's going to be wiped out now. Essie exits the pits in 26th. I mean, if he can... What he's going to have to do is probably unlap himself from everyone and then hope for a safety car. Here's Hannah Duran behind Kieran Hardy in the battle for 6th place. For 5th place, and Duran's done it. But also the other thing, Essie is probably going to face another penalty. And he also needs to be careful because he's coming quite high on penalty points. Essie is. He could face a race ban sometime. And boy, what would that do for the championship? We're on lap 10 of this race. Milner still hanging on to the back of Hawk. But Alex Moores is now dominating this race. And he looks like he is well in control at the moment. But obviously the thing he's got to worry about is making it to the end without any reliability issues or anything go wrong in his car. Or any mistakes with any back markers. Matthew Tewson's about, he's a lap down, but he's going to pass Elliot Everson here, but Everson goes to the inside to defend. No, Tewson just breezes past. I think Everson actually let him go there. Toby Jones is now caught up to his teammate. On lap 11 of this Spanish Grand Prix in Valencia. Obviously Jones has DRS at the moment. We've lost 4 cars in this early stage. As Toby Jones now behind his teammate. Oh, here comes Ben Blakemore down the inside of James Humphreys in the battle for 8th, and Blakemore's done it. Tewson seems to be progressing through this traffic quite easily with unlapping himself. So that means Estley should as well. Obviously in a much faster car. This race is basically going to become a test session for Estley and Tewson. Lap 12 of the Spanish Grand Prix. Toby Jones on Dan Milner. Look at the exit that Jones has got off of turn 15. He's going to be able to make the move down into turn 17? No, not quite. Here's David Bland behind James Humphreys at the end of the points. Got 4 cars. We've lost Coombs, Minto, Mungle and Baldwin from this race. we're on lap 13. And this race now started to kind of settle down a little bit. Yeah, some people are calling that Essie's going to try to get in the way of Alex Moores and crash with him. But if he does, that would be quite silly if he does, because then he'd have a race ban on home soil. Probably. How many penalty points he's on. Essie's behind the HWR now and the speed tech. Alex Moores has this race well under control at the moment. We're on lap 14 of this race at the moment. Here is the race leader who's absolutely dominated this race. .6 is the gap. It's the battle for P3 that's between the two Masterforce cars. If you're Masterforce, would you, because Jones seems to have a bit more pace, would you ask Milner to move over? Or are you going to let the drivers race? Because Jones seems to be unable to make the move at the moment. And here is David Bland down the inside of James Humphries as they head into turn 17, and David Bland's done it. So James Humphries is at the moment dropping positions. Is Essie going to be able to unlap himself from these cars here? He's going to go for it. And he does. Unlap himself from the HWR. We're approaching the pit stop window at the moment. Is Toby Jones going to be able to make the move on Dan Milner? The two Masterforces currently line and stern. Is Jones going to be able to make the move here down into turn 17 this time? He's going to go for it now. And finally, he's able to make the move stick. When Alex Moore's still leading the race. But is Duran now behind Dan Miller. At the moment, there's been no stopping Alex Moores at the moment. Just we saw in Turkey how a lot can anything can happen. We saw with the back markers. As we're on lap 16 of this Spanish Grand Prix of 57. Is Duran going to be able to make the move on Dan Miller, who seems to be struggling at the moment? Not quite. And also Lucy Woodward's caught up with this train as well. He's looking quite strong at the moment in the Baronesso. You're looking at the race leader, Alex Moores. Well, really clamps the curb there. Oh, that's Kieran Hardy down the inside of Anna Duran. Did he do it into turn 2? Yes, I think he did. Let's see how he did it. Bold move. That was a bold move there from Kieran Hardy. With a bold move at turn 2. I'm sure Duran is going to be looking to gain that place back soon. But here is Alex Moores, currently the race leader. At the moment, there's no stopping him at the moment, is there? But we're looking at this battle in the field, behind the field, in a train from Blakemore to Wondragala. On Murray, they're having a little look down the inside of Woolbucken. Here is David Bland behind Ben Blakemore. Who's doing quite well on his first of 2 races at DMAD Engineering. Here is this battle We've got Duran now behind Hardy. Not really a lot going on at the moment now, because everybody seems to be kind of at a reasonable gap and no one seems to be going for any moves. But look at Duran behind Hardy, all over the back of that Guindana Motorsports car. Is she going to be close enough here? I don't think she is. Got pits. We should have some pit stops this lap. So approaching that window now. We should have a pit stop this lap. I think we will, probably. Well, Duran. Whoa, really aggressive on the brakes there. And that's actually really helped her here because she's a lot closer to Kieran Hardy. And looking good for it to make a move. Is Duran going to make the move here? Nope. Alex Moores continues round. Is anyone else going to pit? Is Hawk going to pit? No. Hardy's in. Hardy's into the pits. So Kieran Hardy is the first to roll the dice. In he comes. The long stop. Oh dear. It's not good for him. Oh dear, this is going to really affect his race. He's still sat there, he's gone now. It's a very slow stop. It's down to 17th at the moment. Side by side with the wheel spin Lockie of, I think that's Kerry-Ann Peace. But it's a very slow stop for Kieran Hardy. He's down to 17th. Let's see if Alex is going to come in here. Alex is in. The race leader pits. Let's see what his stop is like. Hawk's in as well. So's Jones. All the top four are in. In fact, top five. And so's Woodward. Yeah, Alex Moores is out of the pits. Reasonable stop. So top four are in. It's a slow stop for Hawk though. She exits the pits. Is she going to be ahead of the Master Forces? Yeah, I think she is. She should be fine. Yep, she gets off the limiter now, and she's a reasonable stop. So Jones ahead of Milner. Oh, Milner's dropped behind Woodward as well. Slow stop for Milner. I guess maybe Milner had to wait for a few cars. Blakemore side by side with the Mossert. Well, a bit of contact there with Joshua Moores. And Duran's had a slow stop as well. Duran's really lost out on the pit stops. But Alex Moore's had an extremely trouble-free pit stop. And he still maintains the lead of the race. Woodward has jumped Milner. But Hardy's miserable season continues. He's had a terrible year, as Hardy so far. The 2011 champion. David Bland currently running in second, but he's pitting. So's Humphreys, Quinton Buchan. Still got a few more cars left to stop. The two Mosses are going quite long. Is Essie having to move over for a couple of cars? They're pitting. Who are pitting? But Alex Moores still leads the way. He has dominated this race so far. Not put a foot wrong. Both Mossets are still yet to stop. Lucy Woodward up there in fourth. She's driven well. There's Woodward, Milner. Blakemore's in sixth at the moment. Bland's in seventh. Got this train of cars that are holding these guys and girls up. As Alex Moores sets another fastest lap of the race. 36.4. The two Mossets still have to pit. Max Montegaro looking very feisty on the back of Lucas Quintanilla, who goes to the inside to defend. And he's defended it quite well. But Montegaro had to slow down slightly because of the Mossets pitting, and Kieran Hardy's all over the back of Max Montegaro as they head into turn 2. Is he going to be able to make the move stick? A bit of a nudge, but he's through. Duran on the back of this train as well. But here is the race leader. Hawk at the moment is only going through the chicane, so that shows the advantage. At the moment, Toby Jones is starting to catch up to Hawk. As we're approaching the halfway stage of this Spanish Grand Prix. As David Bland right behind Ben Blakemore in the battle for 6th in the D-Man Engineering running strongly at the moment. Whoa, this is very, very close there between Kieran Hardy and Ben and Will Buchan as they head down towards turn 17. And Buchan I think Buchan's passed Hardy. Here's the race leader, Alex Moores. So where are the back marks at the moment? At the end of the straight is the first one. There are a couple of them battling. At the moment they're not that close to him. But it is going to take, obviously going to take a while because it's a short track. But this is Duran versus Humphreys in the two Welsh drivers going at it. In the battle for 12th place, Duran trying to make up for lost positions from the pit stops. As they head down the back straight. Hardy has passed Buchan. Repassed Buchan. We didn't see that. Is Buchan's going to have a look down? Is Buchan going to have a look at Hardy? Nope, not quite. As Duran has passed James Humphreys. I think at the moment, apparently Alex Moores has been told on the team radio to not go for it, just keep the car in check, just to save the engine, just keep it at a reasonable gap to Hawk, and to just save the engine. It's not been a thriller though, has it, this race so far? Yellow out there, so what's happened? Presuming someone might have stopped. Oh, Kerry-Ann Peace is out. Yep, she's had to stop the car at the chicane, so Kerry-Ann Peace out of the race. So Kerry-Ann Peace has retired with an engine problem. As Blakemore has been passed by David Bland, the sole remaining Tove car. Whoa, big lock up there from David Bland. So how close is Alex Moores getting to the traffic? Not quite close enough to be able to put a lap on any of them. Got 30 laps to go here in Valencia. And looking like Toby Jones could make the move on Chantel Hawk here in that turn 17. He's going to have a go down the inside, and he's done it. So Toby Jones has passed Chantel Hawk for second. Looking so good is Alex Moores at the moment in terms of his pace. As at the moment, Kieran Hardy's starting to catch up to Max Wundergala. but Will Buchan is coming with him as well. Traffic ahead for Alex Moores. David Bland still defending from Ben Blakemore. As we're heading towards the end of the lap at the moment. So Blakemore starting to catch up with David Bland. Traffic for Alex Moores coming up. Question of when Alex is going to come across it. It's one of the HWRs. It's a question of whether he will get out of the way sensibly. And also Lucy Woodward, I think, could get a podium here. So a question of when will Alex Moores come across this traffic of George Chandler. I'm presuming on the X of this corner that Chandler will start getting the blue flags. Presuming this, he should really be getting out of the way a bit more. He goes for the inside, going into here. Almost hits the wall there, but gets away. I thought he was going to hit the wall there. He got away with it though. Did he actually tap the wall there? I think he just glanced it with his... Obviously not enough to cause damage. That was a bit of probably a heart-stopping moment. This has also given Alex Moores DRS as well. I'm sure he's going to be thankful for that. But Lucy Woodward's having a very good race in 4th place for Baronasso. Easily her best race of the season so far. She always goes well around here, does Lucy Woodward, in the Baronasso. Is Kieran Hardy going to have a look at Max 1 Vigala? No, not quite. But you have to really commend Alex Moores for the drive that he's done at the moment. I mean, it's just been Many people may find it boring if a driver just dominates, but you can't just say that he's won the race yet, because anything can happen. I thought Hardy glanced the wall there at turn 10. But is Kieran Hardy going to be able to make the move on Max von Dragala here? No, not quite. The CGP racing car seems to be quite a hard car to pass with the YRT engine. But this is the closest battle on the track at the moment. Well, Hardy very slow on the exit. We're expecting pit stops, the second round of pit stops in around 10 laps time, I'd say. The thing for Alex Moores is the fact he's going to want, if he laps this traffic, that means if there is a safety car, then there'll be a couple of cars in between himself and the cars behind, so it'll work well for him. Three cars ahead, there's a speed second and HWR and another speed sec. I wouldn't say this has been the most exciting race in the world though. Everybody's getting a bit, I'm sure everyone's getting a bit tense about Alex Moore's lacking back markers. He's had so many problems with back markers this year. And with his teammate, we've already seen history repeat itself today. But I'm sure this is the perfect time for Alex to come across, being a bit reluctant to get out of the way, mind you, but should be out the way going down towards turn 17. No, he doesn't. Bit reluctant to get out the way, to be honest. I don't know what he's doing here. It's Elliot Everson, who's not been the kindest back marker to all these to other drivers this year, mind you. He's going to get out of the way. He's actually now trying to. He should be getting out of the way. I don't know what he's doing. Come on, get out of the way of Alex. The race leader's coming through. This has lost Alex time. Now he finally gets out of the way. Alex is not. That has probably reduced. He probably lost at least 5 seconds in all of that. Hawk and Jones still running line and stern in the battle for second. There's now quite a gap between Alex and the next two back markers, and they are James Casey and Harry Williams. Wodesi's still running in 24th, still in this race. He's kind of forgotten that he's there, but he's a lap down. He's actually just unlapping himself there from Joshua Moores. I'm not sure if there's any point in, if there's nothing happens after the second round of pit stops, there's any point in him continuing really, because might he want to save the engine? But Chantal Hawk behind Toby Jones in the battle for second. There's not really much going on at the moment. Wondergala still ahead of Hardy. But Wondergala doing a good job in P9 ahead of Kieran Hardy. The two D-Man Engineering's behind David Bland, still running line and stern. There are a couple of back markers ahead of Alex now. It's Casey and Williams. And that's the last back marker they're going to get to until for a while. Whether Shantanas and Mossetts or the Shantanas and Joshua Moores are battling it out. There's not really much going on. We've got 20 laps still remaining. But Hardy's still stuck behind Max von Dragala. 20 laps left of this Spanish Grand Prix. So when is Alex Moores going to be able to pass these two back markers? One's the other speed tech of James Casey, who caused him problems earlier, who gets out of the way. That is probably the best we've seen from a back marker so far. James Casey's been a pretty well-behaved back marker, to say the least, in these races, you have to say. He's been pretty well-behaved. Oh, that's Jones having problems there with Elliot Everson. It's Jones having a bit of an issue here. This has allowed both Hawk and Woodward right behind. Jones goes through. But this has allowed Hawk a massive advantage. Why hasn't Jones got DRS? But Hawk goes down the inside for second place, and she's done it. So Hawk takes second place from Toby Jones. Whoa! That was Harry Williams going off and almost took Alex Moores with him. Harry Williams into the wall. Is there any debris? Well, could it be a safety car? There seems to be no debris. Harry Williams has crashed. But has that damaged Alex Moores' car? That was a really scary moment. Is that going to cost him in his pit stop? But that was a lucky escape for Alex Moores there as well. Thought that could have easily cost Alex the race there. But clearly no safety car. That was Harry Williams going off. But to be honest, I think that was a silly mistake there from Harry Williams. Just go way too far to the inside and hit the wall. Essie's ahead of Tucson. But Alex Moores completes another lap. And Hawk here having a problem with the back marker. The other HWR that's still running. Don't know why he's defending his position, George Chandler. Oh, just completely cuts across there. Not sure what that was all about. But Hawk goes through. But now Jones could lose out to Lucy Woodward here. We have contact there between Lucy Woodward and Toby Jones. And Woodward's through, I think. Is Jones going to get down the inside? But he loses his front wing. That is crucial. Toby Jones has lost his front wing. And Toby Jones will be seething at that. Because that might have cost him a podium there. Let's have a look. That might have cost him a podium, whilst Milner has a look at Woodward. But the Masterforce team and Toby Jones will be absolutely seething at that. So Jones is going to have to pit. And this is going to be his race completely wrecked. So that was Toby Jones. But it's a question of when the pit stops come, will Alex have to wait for some damage to be repaired from that incident with Harry Williams? Had a small burst of action there, but now it's gone back to the procession that we had before. DRS for Duran on Buchan. Is he going to be able to make the move? Nope, not quite. Pit light is on Alex Moores. It's not on Hawk, but it's on Alex Moores. The same with Woodward. Maybe Hawk is thinking that Alex might have a bit of damage. But to be honest, I think it would take a really, really, really long stop to be able, because seeing as his gap is so big. But let's see how big, how much. Alex Moores is going to lose. I mean, because Alex is going through this section of the track and Hawk is only starting to get onto the straight. At the end of the straight now. So Alex into the pits. How big is it? It's an 18-second gap. So how much is Alex going to lose through that damage? Hawk's in this lap as well. He's obviously having to wait because of the damage. Is it going to be enough though? Hawk's already on her box. When's Alex going to go? It's going to be close. Alex is gone now and he's maintained the lead. But it has gone down. So Alex Moore's still in the lead of the race. And David Bland running in second at the moment. Obviously going longer, but it's been a good race for David Bland. fact, the only thing that can really stop Alex Moores at the moment is another trouble with back markers or reliability, or if he makes a mistake. There is another back marker ahead, but is he going to be pitting? There's Alex. They're both not in this lap. Which means Alex is obviously going to catch them, probably before. Which means that he won't be able to set fast this lap. Oh. Chandler's in it. It's Everson. Yellow out there. What's happened to David Bland? He's lost his front wing. He's hit Hawk, and Hawk has lost her rear wing. David Bland has hit Hawk out of this race, surely. And Hawk is out of this race. Alex Moores has already put a lap, but that's his second place cursed. But it looks like we're going to lose Hawk from this race as well. And David Bland, I think, is going to get a penalty for that. As Lucy Woodward behind Lucas Quintanilla, who's still yet to stop. But Lucy Woodward looking on course for a podium. But it's... livened up towards the end, this race has. Both Wondergala and Buchan. Not quite Duran, put a lap on George Chandler. As Will Buchan trying to find a way past Max Wondergala. As Chandler's gone off. He's out. Farrah Smith into the points at the moment. So George Chandler's crashed. Lucas Quintanilla into pits. Where is Wondergala? He's racing Max Wondergala. And Quintanilla's ahead. Yeah, and also the incident with David Bland is being under investigation. But where are the next back markers for? It's quite a way ahead, actually. The Shantanas are actually pitting now. And they are the next back markers. We've got 11 laps remaining here at Valencia. Hardy's dropped to 8th. It's not an order you'd expect at the moment, but all these front runners are coming through. Back marker ahead. This could help Woodward a little bit. Well, could help Milner, I mean, a little bit. Is that fucking stopping? What a shame! He's out with an engine problem. He was running well. What a shame. Promotes Louise Morrow into the points though. This is Everson, I think this is. And it's Casey. Trying to get out the way of Lucy Woodward. And James Case, and now Dan Miller. That is good sportsmanship from James. Duran's past Wondergale. She's now closing on to Lucas Quintanilla for 4th. And Matthew Tewson has retired, we're hearing. He has retired in the pits. He has apparently decided to save, because there's no, apparently he said on the radio, there's no hope of me getting points, so I might as well save the engine. So Tewson there, deciding to retire to save the engine. Surely Essie should do the same. Nine laps left for Alex Moores. Louise Morrow behind Ben Blakemore. Not long to go of this Spanish Grand Prix here at Valencia. Race hasn't seen much in terms of overtaking, but it has seen action. Hannah Duran trying to get past Lucas Quintanilla here. Whoa, what? I don't know what Everson's trying to do here. What? If that's not the way to move over the car, to just wiggle your car about as if it's Mario Kart. There's been a dominant display at the moment. It's Kieran Hardy behind Elliot Everson now, but with the toe, but both toes are not going to score any points. That's what seems obvious. Got the Shantana ahead. If it's a straight that the Shantana starts getting blue flags, then that would be good for him, for Alex, and that's what I think it's going to be. Yep, Sadiq gets out the way. Everyone's happy. I think the only back marker they're really going to catch is Chloe Carter. We might catch the Mossa, but I doubt it. Duran caught back up to Lucas Quintanilla. But look at Hannah Duran still. But Lucy Woodward has driven well. Well, I'm looking at the chat now. The season ends on the 6th December in Abu Dhabi. We got underway on the I think it's like the 22nd of March, Sunday the 22nd of March. I'm not sure which day it was. The 22nd of March it was in Melbourne. There's Hannah Duran with 8 laps to go, starting to catch up to Lucas Quintanilla. If she can get close, then she could be able to make the move. Obviously, as here's Hannah Duran behind Lucas Quintanilla. Is she going to be able to make the move stick? Not quite. The shunt Hannah's there. I'm assuming that Carter's going to get the blue flags here. Not quite. Hopefully, I'm sure Alex is hoping on the straight that Carter will get blue flags again, because at the moment he's going to get DRS. Yeah, it's going to be on the straight again. And Alex is easily able to get through. We have Duran looking behind Lucas Quintanilla. I mean, it's Alex Moores who looks like he is... Well, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to curse him. With just over 6 laps left to run here at Valencia. Just the D-man seems to be quite good on acceleration. But Duran did definitely get a better exit there off of turn 15. Now down towards turn 17. Is Duran going to have a look going down into 17? Not quite. Lucas Quincy, yeah, looking for a career... A career best result. Yeah, I agree. Looking at the chat, I agree. F1 liveries have got quite dull recently, haven't they? Kieran Hardy starting to catch up to Max van der Garde. This is where we could see the movement, this part of the field, with 6 laps to go. Got 20 cars still remaining in this race, so Not the best reliability rate all year, but not the worst we've seen. Cars are starting to get all the teams are starting to get on top of the switch to R Factor 2 for this year. We're starting to see a bit better reliability in these coming. And obviously the summer break coming up after Hungary. But look at the exit. I think this is the closest Hannah Duran has been yet. And Duran's going to go for the move down the inside. And Hannah Duran has taken fourth from Lucas Quintanilla. Whilst Kieran Hardy has passed Maxwell Jagala as well. And now I think the other change. I think now Hardy's going to see if he's going to want to going to be able to catch up to Lucas Quintanilla. But it's Lucy Woodward currently in second place, driven really well as Lucy. Essie sets the fastest lap, so it won't be like a grand slam for Alex Moores, but Essie, at least someone's got engine spoke. That's James Humphreys. He's running an 8th. James Humphreys has smoke billowing from his car. Oh, that is really unfortunate for James Humphreys. He was running quite well. But it looks like we are about to lose James Humphreys from this race. And that is unfortunate. Wondergala is hanging on to Hardy. That is... But this promotes Harvey Williams into the points for Mossert. I saw a change in position between Jones is out. I'm not sure whether he tried to save the engine or not. But I doubt that Humphreys is going to be able to get this engine to last to the end. It looks like he is going to lose an engine as well. So it's a shame for James Humphreys. He'd good race from him up until that point. So James Humphreys is going to have to stop the car, hopefully in a safe place. Yeah, he's going to go off here. It's quite a safe place. So James Humphreys is out of the Grand Prix. Three laps still left to run here at Valencia. And also, we could see a change. Tom Farrar-Smith is starting to catch up to Harvey Williams. If they can get Farrar-Smith into the points, that would be quite a something for Willspin Lockey, and that would be probably a great way for them to end what has really been a difficult week for them, with the whole situation that they had with the two Willspin and Lockey companies splitting. Brake more the gearbox for a moment, but this is, I think, where we could see the change. in the battle for P10. Alex Moores is soon going to start the penultimate lap. I don't think Alex is going to have any more back marks to come across. I don't see him catching Joshua Moores before the end of the race, as Alex Moores starts his penultimate lap. But the question is Tom Farrow-Smith Is Tom Farrow-Smith going to be able to catch up to Harvey Williams? But Louise Morrow is being caught up also by Ben Blakemore. No, to be honest, I think it's going to... I think that it's going to be too much to ask unless Harvey makes quite a mistake. I don't really see us seeing many changes unless a backmarker gets involved with someone, which at the moment James Casey is with Hannah Duran. Is Casey going to get out the way? Trying to get out the way, that's something. Maybe Casey's trying to give Duran DRS down the straight. But this could be an opening here for Quintanilla. Casey gets found, but Quintanilla's got the momentum. Duran had to really slow, but she has DRS. Is Quintanilla going to have a look going down into turn 12? Yes, he is. And Quintanilla's done it. So Quintanilla up into 4th place again, as Alex Moores has started his final lap. You can basically have a gearbox failure and still win this right now. But it has been... I mean, he hasn't got fastest lap because that honour went to his teammate. Willessie, who still set the fastest lap. And Everson's retired, I think. But it has been a true... Through no point during this race you could officially say he might not win this race. That he might lose this race. Apart maybe the millisecond where Harry Williams crashed. But it has been a dominant drive from Alex Moores. He can now coast to the line. The battle for 4th is still on. But he goes round the final sector. And he's now going to head into the final corner. Onto the pit straight. It is Alex Moores who is going to take victory in Valencia. A dominant drive. He's led every single lap. Lucy Woodford looks like she's going to come through in 2nd place. With Dan Milner taking the final podium slot in 3rd. What about Lucas Quintanilla versus Hannah Duran? Quintanilla's ahead and Hardy's on the back of this train as well. Is Duran going to be able to have a look into the final corner? No, I think Lucas Quintanilla's got it. But what a drive from Alex Moores. Into the final corner. Lucas Quintanilla is going to take 4th. Duran is going to take 5th. Hardy's going to take 6th. Wanjagala is going to take 7th. Morrow 8th. Look at how close Farrow-Smith has got. Blakemore's going to get 9th. With the final point likely to go to Harvey Williams in 10th. into the final corner. It's going to be Harvey Williams who collects the final point ahead of Tom Farris-Smith. Joshua Moore's in 12th. Wood Essien ended up in 17th in the end. Well, Everson did finish the race. He lost his front wing. He must have. As into the pits comes Joshua Moores on his victory. Or Alex Moores on his victory. That's on the Shantana stops on the bit. And Lucy Woodward promptly steers her car into the wall, followed by Dan Milliner. This is quite funny. Thankfully, this didn't happen in the race. This is going to be quite funny, this victory lap. Piled up on the entrance to the pit lane. Piled up on the entrance to the pit lane, multiple cars. This is weird. This is quite funny, but now it's the end of... That doesn't affect the race. So, it is Alex Moores who takes victory here in Valencia. Obviously, we have the championship standings to add up. And pointed out, Alex Moores crossed the line right next to his brother. But an exciting race here in Valencia. Also don't forget the Rate the Race link is in the description. But please rate it based on how exciting the race was, not on the quality of the stream or the league. Rate it based on how exciting the race was, please. But an interesting race. As the championship standings are about to be updated. But an exciting weekend. We had some... I wouldn't say that quite matched the CGP2 race that we had earlier. But there was no safety car today. As the championship standings are just being added up. Obviously, there's only a week break before Silverstone. We've got the podium coming up for you. It's Harvey Williams who's taken the final point. Lucy Woodward's moved up into 6th ahead of Tucson. But that was an interesting race in Valencia. Looking for the constructors. But also with Blakemore's pace, could D-Tech consider for the 25 points go to Yanataroka, of course. And 18 go to Brown. Their second pony of the year. They've had a good year so far. But Lucas Quinton, I'd say Quintanilla driver of the day. But the gap that Yanataroka have up front now has got bigger. Baronassi is ahead of Kunji P. We're just getting ready for the podium celebrations. Here in Valencia. But an interesting race we had here in Valencia. The standings also are on the CRC site, by the way, which is in the description. We're 8 races into the season. It's what's been an interesting season. And then but what an exciting and interesting race that was. As here we go, it's time for the podium. There's a podium celebration. As onto the podium walks Dan Miller. Good drive from him. The second place drivers, Lucy Wheeler and Alex Moores, gets onto the podium, and it will be the British National Anthem that will play for him. Alex Moores is about to collect his trophy as he holds it aloft. Great drive from Alex's second straight win. As the Constructors' Trophy is being presented, it's their fifth trophy this year. And then we have Lucy Woodward collecting her second place trophy. What a drive from her. And then the third place trophy is going to be presented to Dan Milliner. And now, the driver pose the photograph. And now, it's time for the champagne to spray in Valencia. It is Alex Moores who is victorious in Valencia with a dominant display. It's Alex Moores who's victorious. The driver's going to walk off the podium now, so there's no podium interviews this year. But Alex Moore is continuing to celebrate another race win. And when I come back in a moment, there's going to be some post-race reaction. I'll be right back. And then it's time for some post-race reaction. Okay, so I'm back and now ready to have some post-race reaction. We're going to chat to James. We're just going to get the FSR stream up just to see what's going on my other monitor. The race hasn't even started yet for FSR, but let's speak to James. Okay, what did you think of that race?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good race. First half was a slow burner, and then by the end of it, very good end. Yeah,
It kind of felt a bit similar to China in a way, didn't it?
Yeah, and
I'd
quite
say a little bit more
races
exciting than China, but
yeah, slightly better than China because the order was more mixed up than it was in China
yeah.
by the
And
end.
who would you say was driver of the day?
I'd probably say Lucy Woodward. That second place was a really good drive. But Quintalina had a really good drive as well. He had a slow start actually. It was quite low down, but managed to pick up from other people's mistakes, and
Yeah,
his strategy worked really well, and he just had really good pace. So
yeah. Lucas
Either of those.
Quintanilla, the way he was able to take the fight to Hannah Duran at the end of the race, it's quite spectacular, wasn't it?
yeah, I was really surprised that he managed to get that fourth place back. I thought once he'd lost it, it was all over and done with. He was helped by back markers, obviously, but still really good that he managed to hold on.
Yeah, and also absolutely dominant from Alex Moores, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was wrong by thinking that Yana Turek were going to have some challenge,
Yeah, and what do
unfortunately.
you think this is going to do with Essie? Because he's likely to have a back of grid penalty for the next race. But
Yeah,
Silverstone's probably an easier track to overtake on than Valencia. And in
yeah,
and do you think he can, if he gets a back of grid, he can fight his way through? Because in 2012, he started 17th at Silverstone, and actually took the win.
yeah. I think he could work his way up quite a long way, but as you said, a back of grid is 13 more places than 17th.
Yeah, and do you
So
think Essie has to be a bit more careful because I think he's accumulated like 7 penalty points already, and he's likely to accumulate like 4 more, and then he
yeah,
could be quite close to a race ban.
yeah. It's ridiculous that he seems to be okay when passing back markers when he's in the lead, but actually overtaking them full position, he just seems to get it all horribly wrong. And that's twice he's just run into the back of someone now, and it's getting a bit ridiculous, really.
Yes, twice. First his victim was Kerry Peace in Turkey, wasn't it? And then it was
Yeah.
yeah. But who would you say was the surprise of the day?
Surprise of the day, I think, was probably, I'd say, probably Ben Blakemore for the first half of the race. When he was up in somewhere like P5, I was really surprised that he was able
Yeah,
to take the fight to Quintalina, and I think it was a slow stop that lost him all the positions in the end, so that was unfortunate for him. But I was really surprised that he was doing such a good job after having not raced for quite a long time.
yeah. Also, Hardy and Duran lost out in the pit stops, didn't they?
Yeah, and they were lucky with the amount of DNFs that they managed to get up into the positions that they did in the end, 5th and 6th. I think they'll be quite happy with from the position that they were in, especially considering Hardy's. That's only his second point scoring race of the season, so I think they'll be
Yeah.
quite happy with that.
Also, at the moment, just getting the penalty points sheet up at the moment to see where Esley is at the moment. But we saw Tucson opt to retire to save the engine. Are you surprised that Essie didn't do the same?
Yeah, I would have thought that after the front wing, he lost almost 2 laps, didn't he? And by the end of it, he couldn't even catch up to the back markers. By the end of it, he unlapped themselves from them, but he was still miles behind them at the end. So he was clearly never going to get any points. So it
Yeah.
was just a really weird decision just to keep going. And he pitted right at the end, and then did that fastest lap. So
Yeah, at the moment, Wesley is on 5 penalty points, so he'll probably be on 9 if he gets. He accumulated 5 in Turkey, 1 for his qualifying antics and 2 for the incident with Peace. So I'm presuming he'll get around 8. He'll be on
yeah,
8 after this.
I think 2 was actually quite lenient for the
He got
Kariampi
3. He
incident.
got 3.
Oh, and he got 2 for the qualifying.
Yeah, we've had plenty of races this weekend. We've seen some exciting action. What would you say was the most exciting race of the weekend that we saw?
I'm gonna go with this one actually. The last 19 laps. I know the first first half wasn't great, but the second half of this was really exciting, and you couldn't really predict, apart from P1, you couldn't really predict where anyone was going to finish. The
Yeah.
whole points from 2nd to 10th was up for grabs. So
Yeah,
it's
to be
really
honest,
great stuff.
I wouldn't say that was as good as a CGP2 race that we saw this morning, but I'd say it was quite exciting.
Yeah, so probably the CGP2 race as a whole was probably better, but I found that the last bit of this race was extremely exciting.
But but now with 3 points, where do you think the championship lies at the moment in terms of the championship?
I think Alex Moores is going to become world champion by the end of the season because he's driven 2 races in a row that have been really, really good races, and Will Astley has driven.
There's
This
been
is
too
his
many
4th
mistakes
race
in
in a
this.
row.
The psychological advantage will definitely be with Esley, with Alex Moores, won't it? Sorry, I'm just concentrating on the start of the FSR race.
Yeah,
There's been a
Astley's
crash.
had 4 bad races in a row now, and I mean he didn't do too badly in Canada, but still losing to Moores is not what he would have wanted.
Yeah. But it's going to be an interesting rest of the season, because anyone who thinks that and this is chaos in the FSR. Anyone who thinks that Essie was going to walk away with this championship, they're very much wrong.
I was wrong. Oh, I thought he was definitely going to run away with it.
But do you think he'll be quite disappointed if he doesn't win the championship this year, seeing as he's been waiting for this opportunity for a while and it hasn't come?
Yeah, and considering that he's had the car, he had the pace, and he seems to, now Alex Moores is not only he seems to have become quicker now than Nestle, he's now more consistent as well. The big thing was that Moores kept on crashing, and now Moores isn't crashing and Nestle is crashing, and penalty points and race bans are going to be coming his way. So
Yeah, and backup grids as well.
yeah,
It's looking like we could have Essie at the back of the grid.
it's pretty much a carbon copy of Turkey, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, pretty much. He did exactly what he did in Turkey to carry on peace. But I guess the race was pretty much won in qualifying yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Yanatroka seem to be more dominant in the race than they are in qualifying. So Alex Moore's getting on pole just allowed him to have an easy run today and not have to do anything like overtake, and just controlled the race really from start to finish.
But also in the best of the rest, we had quite a bit of that incident. We saw Toby Jones crash and then Hawke get taken out by David Bland.
Yeah, that was a really, really strange incident because
David Bland tried to get into the pits. I think he will be facing a penalty for that.
yeah, and just the way that Hawke's car completely flipped over as well. I thought Hawke could have got away with that with just a bit of damage, but
No, she lost her rear wing.
Yeah, I thought her rear wing would have stayed on, but that shows how much speed you carry into the pits compared to taking the corner.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult pit lane here, isn't it? Where if there's a car in front, and obviously you'd be wanting to get into the pit lane as quick as possible.
Yeah, and Bland was there fighting for position, wasn't he, with a load of other cars, so
Yeah, he was in the points.
yeah.
Yeah, do you think some of the back markers might get a penalty, like Elliot Everson or?
Yeah, I think Everson. I think the rest were fine. Williams just made a mistake. Chandler.
Yeah, that was a
held up
scary
slightly.
moment, wasn't it?
I thought there that was Alex Moore's defeat by backmarker again, but
I'm sure everybody in the millisecond, everybody watching thought, "Well, Alex Moore's." No, he's not.
yeah, but I think Everson might be in a bit of trouble, but the rest of them were kind of reasonably behaved, especially James Casey, as always.
But this championship battle is hotting up right now, isn't it?
Yeah, and as long as Estley doesn't make too many more mistakes, it will be really close until the end of the season now. Because
do you think it's going to go right down to the wire?
I think it will go right down to the wire because, the reliability's been getting better over the season, but that is still a big part. And even if someone goes on a run of wins, I'm sure that luck will change.
Yeah, this feels really similar to Mercedes last year, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's if you think about it, this year Mercedes are very prolific. Really, they're making the most out of every weekend, whereas Yamaha are they're letting points go, and that's what's making it interesting. Really, that although they are dominating, you still don't know when they're going to do.
Yeah,
they're going to keep constructors. But.
Yeah, but it's going to be very interesting to see how this title fight between the two United Rogues is. This story is Essie versus Moores, isn't it? Definitely for the title.
Yeah. But I can't see any other team getting anywhere near them really in the race. In quali, I reckon they can get close, and that might shake it up as well. Maybe if we've got like a Masterforce on pole, Yamaha maybe 3rd and 4th or something, that could mix it up even more.
Wet race as well. We haven't seen any rain since Malaysia, really, have we?
No, and we saw that that was absolutely massive. That somehow James Humphreys ended up winning in a car that is struggling to get points in all the other races.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's
that
I
could be
guess that's what
spectacular.
happens if they've got so many cars retiring towards the end.
Yeah.
But I'm actually just gonna get the. I'm actually just gonna. God, I forgot what I was gonna do now. But I'm actually just gonna get the weather forecast for next week's race up. I'm presuming there's rain expected, considering it's the UK. But we've not. But this season's now in full flow, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and now that we've got into the European season, there's more constant races, and yeah, it's going to be interesting now to just see how this develops. And
Yeah. Do you think we're gonna see more exciting racing at Silverstone?
yeah, I think so. There's obviously a lot of overtaking spots and a lot of places where you pass someone in a very exciting way, I suppose. That slow speed corners aren't quite as exciting as people battling at high speed, which will be really, really interesting.
Yeah, the Formula Renault race we've had round there already this year was quite exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it was right until the
And
last lap.
apparently it could be with patchy light drizzle. The Silverstone race might.
Okay, well that's even more exciting than a full wet race because we saw in Malaysia where it went wet dry wet dry, it was all over the place. But yeah,
That's what I guess
that's
that's what you get in Malaysia, isn't it?
yeah.
It's typical Malaysia conditions. Because at the moment we've got rain expected for Thursday, and then we've got. I think it's going to be dry on Friday. It's going to be sunny on Saturday, and then we might have a little bit of rain on Sunday.
We'll keep our eye on that then, on the weather.
But we've got. I guess we've got around 10 minutes. We could actually stream right up until 7 o'clock if we wanted. But
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've got a tea soon, so
yeah, I think we should stream till 1:45, to be honest.
yeah, it could do that. Yeah.
But what race do you think something interesting is going to happen in the coming races?
I think what's going to be most exciting is the kind of midfield that we've seen today. Like we saw the midfield going up the order with the DNFs. That was what was really exciting
Yeah,
here.
we're expecting the cars to get a bit more reliable as the season goes on, aren't we?
Yeah, that's a real shame. I actually think because the reliability has been what has made the season so good so far. And yeah, I hope that the reliability gets slightly better because it's unfair on the drivers at the moment that they're losing out on so many points through no fault of their own. But at the same time, it is really good for the racing. So hopefully, there's in between where we have good
Obviously,
racing
it's
and
nowhere
fairness.
near like the 60s where we had cars retiring all over the place all the time.
No, we've still got a fair amount of cars finishing. We had, I think, was it 18 cars finishing today?
Yeah,
Yeah, and quite a lot of cars had damage as well. So that's
but
why.
the coming races that we've got, it's going to be very interesting because we have obviously Silverstone next week. Then we have Hungary. What do you think Silverstone will? Obviously, we talked about Silverstone. Do you think Hungary will produce some good racing?
Yeah, I think Hungary will be a pretty good race. I mean, it's not going to be. It's quite similar to this track, but just with less straights, isn't it? Really,
Yeah,
it hasn't got as many straights.
and also
So
there's two tracks I want to talk about because we've obviously the rest of the tracks apart from these two have been on the were on the calendar last year. There's definitely, but we've got the return of Zandvoort on the 23rd of August.
I'm not actually sure how that track is. Is it?
It's the
What's that track?
Dutch track, the Dutch Grand Prix.
Is it quite high speed or?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
that could be quite interesting because that saw some good racing in last time it was on the calendar.
Yeah, that's good that they've got that mix up. They go from Silverstone high speed to low speed to a high speed again. So it's mixing them up, keeping them on their toes.
And then also on the 11th of October, CRC heads to Russia. What do you think that's going to do?
Yeah, I think that's going to be interested to see how the cars cope with, especially that long left-hander. I think that could be quite interesting to see
Yeah.
how the cars go through it. Because obviously, the cars are a lot different this year to what they were last year in CRC. So, coping with a new challenge, we'll see what that's like. See what the cars
But
behave.
we could be looking at a season that's not going to be decided until the 22nd of November.
Yeah, and that's a very good thing that we've got. Uh, we know pretty much that we're going to have an exciting season at the moment now, and it might not go that distance, but I reckon I'm pretty confident it will go right to the end, which is a very positive sign.
But also, let's talk about CGP2 as well. How do you think that title is shaping up at the moment?
Well, that's quite an interesting one, to be fair, actually, because it seems to be changing every week.
Yeah.
It's a lot of drivers are going up and down the standings, but yeah, I would say that it will be between O'Connor, O'Driscoll, and Leggett. I can't see Beaumont getting too involved, I don't think. Those three drivers have looked the fastest three drivers,
Yeah.
and although they've had a few problems each, I think that it'll be quite interesting. O'Connor's actually been the most.
O'Connor's been the most consistent, hasn't she?
Yeah, but the Amlin Fox I think are just a little bit quicker. The O'Driscoll and
Obviously, they're
Leggett
still the same car. Amlin Fox seem to be good at setting up the car,
Yeah.
but Leggett hasn't actually won a race yet, has she?
No, I'm surprised about that actually. I'm quite
She almost
shocked.
did in Monaco, didn't she?
Yeah.
Before she threw it away on the last lap.
Mm.
But
Yeah, and she won that dominantly as well, didn't she?
Yeah. But it's going to be an interesting. But it's going to be an interesting remainder of the season, isn't it?
Yeah. It's again that's not so much unreliability, but quite a lot of crashing, and that's quite interesting with some of the drivers in it.
Obviously, the race that we saw back in CGP2 was exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, Lewington dropping from first to fourth in the first two corners after the restart.
Do you think MAT are feeling Luke Julian's absence?
It's to be honest, actually, it's quite hard to tell because although he did well in the first weekend, and then he had those problems, didn't he? Turkey, his engine blew up. Monaco, he didn't score anything.
Yeah, Monaco, he crashed.
But
he's always been at the front.
Yeah, so I think they are feeling that a little bit. But we haven't seen Patton that much. He did a good job.
Yeah, he did. He was doing well on race 1 before his engine failed.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's quite. They're quite feeling it that much, but yeah.
And also, let's look at CGP3. So, where do you think this championship lies?
Well, this is crazy that we signed Rhys Jeffries, and we kind of warned him that his championship chances were going to be over. And the first race for us, he goes and wins it by a mile. So, yeah, it's really good.
What do you think of what happened in the CGP3 race earlier with the red flag and everything?
Yeah, that was interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
I think
apparently a lot of drivers went to the KSR to show their anger about what happened. Which drivers were they?
Just Jane McParland was extremely angry, and I mean she was an innocent victim of part of the roadblock, and we had all kinds of drivers.
I'd say the most furious out of it all would have been Chittock because he got hit. Yeah,
Chittock was the most innocent victim, I suppose, because he could have done absolutely nothing as Hanawin smashed into the back of him. But yeah,
we still don't know what penalty Hanawin's going to get.
Yeah, it's quite hard to do, isn't it, when the person you hit out goes out, because say if you like illegally overtake someone and then they can just like give you a time penalty, swap the positions at the end.
Yeah, but he caused 7 cars from the competition. I think he could face quite a big penalty.
Yeah, I think something as harsh as disqualification would be.
Maybe even a race ban.
Yeah, maybe.
A weekend ban.
Yeah, I mean, a disqualification would be fair because he ruined the race, really, didn't he? Because it caused absolute carnage later on.
Yeah, it kind of caused all the red flag and he eliminated 7 cars.
Yeah.
Do you think that 7 cars who were eliminated as a result should have been allowed to take the restart?
I'm going to be quite harsh and I say no because it was their fault that they saw the crash in front of them, and I don't know why everyone ended up piling into it.
Yeah.
There is a runoff area. Go on that. That's my view on it. That's quite harsh, but yeah, just avoid what you see in front of you.
But who do you think is going to win this championship?
I'd like to say that our driver Reece Jeffries is going to win, but I'm going to go with Wimberley. I think Wimberley or one of the MATs. I think Charlton obviously had a terrible weekend this weekend, but Daniel McDonald looked quite good until his problems in race 2. So I reckon it'll be one of them.
Without Wimberley, maybe, or Pacini.
Yeah. Wimberley was one
Without
of those.
Pacini, maybe.
Yeah, Pacini's quite a long way behind, isn't he? He's got a very good chance.
You mean she?
She. Didn't look at the first name, Elisa. Yeah, yeah, she's a long way behind, but
what about
she's got the pace.
Temnikova?
Temnikova, I'll be surprised if she gets to the end of the season without getting shot at by all the drivers, quite frankly. All the crashing she does.
But she drove well, didn't she?
Yeah. I thought she was in the points, but she didn't get any.
Yeah, she passed McParlin, didn't she, in race 1? But
yeah,
then...
I think she just missed out on the points, so that was a bit of a shame.
But also, how do you think the new people fared this weekend? Speaking of drivers such as McParland and maybe Toby Julian.
Yeah, I think McParland was quite good. She was unlucky in race 2. Kind of midfield, which is pretty good to come into a car straight away and go midfield. Although they are these cars are quite similar to Formula Renault, so it's not too.
She doesn't seem to be as quick as she is in Formula Renault, does she? Though.
No, she's not. She's not quite the same. And Toby Julian was
had a terrible race.
Yeah, he was awful.
Actually, now talking about Formula Renault, because obviously I think we've got a big break for Formula Renault, I believe. But I'm just trying to get the standings up. Where do you think? Because obviously we had Formula Renault last week. Where do you think this championship lies?
I think it's going to be a battle between Hyde and Ogielli, really. I can't see Sharman getting involved.
Without Cutler, if you can get some luck.
Yeah, but again, he's quite a long way behind, isn't he? So he's going to have to. He'll be someone he'll interfere in the championship battle, but I think he's too far behind to make any inroads because there's not actually that many rounds left, is there?
Not really.
There's a fair amount, but he's quite a long way back to make any impact.
Yeah.
So,
but obviously, all these seasons are in full flow. And also, where do you think the CRC Classics standings lie?
Was it changed a lot today, didn't it? With, who was the leader?
Mackay. Yeah. Do you remember there were rumours coming around that Mackay could have replaced. Who was it? Phillips in the CGP racing car.
Yeah, there were those rumours, but I think she's been out of the sport for a little bit too long. That was the problem. It's been 4 years now, so it's quite a long time to be out of the sport. And for her, that was probably why she's not in it. But she's a quick driver. She's had a good CRC Classics series so far, and I think it'll be between the top 3: Mackay, Varanich and Peter James.
And are you surprised how the former race winners such as Wise, King, Steele and trying to see who else, Tara Steele as well, and drivers like that have not really been challenging?
No, they haven't done. Tara Steele's done okay, but the rest of them are quite a long way down, and I suppose they're completely different cars, so you can't judge it the same as when they were in CRC. So
yeah,
it's quite.
But do you think it's good that these drivers are getting a chance to impress again?
Yeah, and it's good for. I mean, there's rumours of an electronic series coming in, so
and replacing this
could be a way of getting into that because the cars are going to be
also
similar kind of pace.
Also, Bex Harry was allowed to enter this race, but as a guest driver. Do you think it was the right decision that she was a guest driver rather than an actual driver?
Yeah, I suppose it's. If she's not going to be there that often, it's a bit.
I mean,
unfair.
she is going to be there, planning on being there for the rest of the season, but she's not a former CRC driver.
Yeah, so she doesn't fit the criteria, does she? But you can't stop her from racing because then you're going to end up with no drivers. But yeah, it's
Do you think Howie's going to end up in CRC someday?
I'm not sure. Could do. It depends on results. I think if she's coming sixth in the CRC Classics races, that's not going to make much of an impact. But
Against former CRC drivers as well.
yeah, if she can get bigger results than that, I think, because they're former drivers for a reason. So
But
sort of.
it's quite good to see these former drivers getting a chance to impress again, isn't it?
Yeah, and obviously as well, they've obviously got different motives. Some of them trying to get back into the sport, some of them just having a bit of fun in their retirement.
Yeah, there's been... But anyway, we may need to wrap up in a minute because
Yep.
we've had quite a lot of chatter after the race, haven't we?
Yep.
I think it's almost been an hour since the race has finished.
Yeah, about 45 minutes, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, it's the British Grand Prix next week, which will be live right here on this channel. And don't forget to look at the CRC site for news and league information. But we hope you've enjoyed today's Spanish Grand Prix. In fact, I hope you've enjoyed the whole weekend of action. It's been a great weekend here in Valencia for these series. And obviously next week, the league heads home, or as many drivers would judge, home to Silverstone for the 9th round of the 2015 CRC Championship. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.